Ready to level up your Tudor history game? Then don't miss Forging a Queen, Catherine of Aragon Before England. This 6-week online course dives into the fierce, fearless life of young Catherine before the crown, before the heartbreak. Led by Dr. Emma, who basically lived in the Spanish archives for a decade and a half, this is not your typical history class. Let's go forge a queen. Visit the show notes to sign up.
This is the Tudors, Dynasty, and Beyond podcast. History with a twist. And now your host, Rebecca Larson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Rebecca Larson, and today I'm very pleased to welcome back to the show for the first time in quite some time a former co-host of mine, Christine Morgan. And Christine has a fun special episode waiting just for you.
Hello and welcome to all our Tudors Dynasty podcast listeners who are joining us for a very special interview today. My name is Christine Morgan, and I'm joined here today with playwright Rosamund Gravelle. Roz, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much. And hello again. And hello to the audience. And obviously, hello to you, Christine. It's lovely to be back.
That's it. Exactly. It should have been welcome back. We've had you before, and it was wonderful. So what's exciting today is on this podcast, we don't do this very often, but our interview today is actually an update or maybe an extension of our conversation that we had last year ahead of the UK premiere of your play, Three Queens. And just as a refresher for our listeners, in that play, it was a hypothetical conversation between Queen Mary I, the Princess Elizabeth, and Lady Jane Grey on the eve of her execution. So is this sort of a topic that was cathartic for you to dive into? Maybe something you wanted to play out as a conversation turned reality?
Absolutely. When the play came to me, I had always wanted to do an Elizabeth play because from a very early age, I'd been a Princess Queen Elizabeth fan. But going into her, and then six was coming up, and it was all about the wives again and looking at the wives in a different light. And I was looking at Elizabeth and I thought, there hasn't been so much on sort of when she was sort of just about to come to the throne. I know we've got Becoming Elizabeth now, and that's out there, but when I was the genesis of the play, there wasn't too much. And then I thought, wow, what about the women around her? And she's always been in conversation with her sister Mary, and there wasn't so much about Queen Mary's short reign, or if there has been, it's sort of been bits and bobs, and she's always been the baddie. And then when I did my research, you go well, actually, Mary had this personality. She was kind, she was giving, and the actions that she did sometimes were really generous and really lovely. But then there was the section that they had their cousin, Lady Jane Grey, and obviously not very good. And she was around, and it was just sort of well, these three different women all together in different ways, in different positions, in different kind of stances, kind of all were around together. And I just thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if they all came together at this point? And that kind of came there. And then it was COVID, and then it was sort of it's very intense, very dark. And that one night of how they could all come together would maybe be when Jane is about to die, and could there be a conversation had between the three of them? And they took so much different stances. Elizabeth survived for so long, and to do that, you may not have to be the nicest person, or you may have had good stances, but do you hold on to those? Do you hide them before you're in power? And then Queen Mary, who's always been very, before she was queen, very strident in her views, and this is what I'm going to do. There was nearly civil war between her and Edward. And then she gets into power, and then you have Jane Grey, who's still with the Protestant faction, and she never gives up her position. She's so strong to the end. She isn't this weak and feeble woman, sweet martyr that a lot of history has portrayed her as. You've got to have real guts, especially when you're only 16, 17 to do that. So I wanted to bring these really interesting personalities in different stages of where they are and bring them together. And so, and all the women of the court, because after Elizabeth, when Elizabeth this one time the heir for the throne are all women. So there's Queen Mary, there's Queen Elizabeth, there's Lady Jane Grey, there's Lady Jane Grey's sisters. In a while, there's Lady Margaret Douglas, there's potentially Lettice Knowles. So all these women are heirs to the throne and will be for quite a long time. And it's such a interesting point of history. And I thought, oh, just wouldn't it be wonderful that these three women who've got power in that time, real power, not just as a regent, but real regnal power, and how they come into it, how they feel for it, and how they circle it as well. Because we've all had Henry and lots of things about Henry VIII and how the different men circle the power with him and the wives around him. But what does it mean for the women to really circle real power? And maybe the other characters in the play, like Cardinal Reginald Pole, you have one of their other cousins, and Robert Dudley. So like kind of have men circle the women, and then it's in this inverse time. So for them, it would be unusual for a woman to hold that power. And how do they behave? How do they dance around that power and the women? So yeah.
I think it's a beautiful period, and you've selected a conversation that, like you are describing here, is so rich in context for the period and this unique element of what was happening in England at this time. I can't imagine it would be anything but absolutely intriguing. But this is your baby. You worked on this for years and years. You even had the COVID time. Your timeline on this was something like 2021 to 2024 before your big premiere. What was it like to just finally sit in the theater with the lights and the music and these fantastic actors and know that all your work is finally in the world?
It was amazing, and I can't thank Kibo Productions and all the actors and everybody who came to let me see it. Really, it's always been in my mind, or I can hear the conversations, but to see this fantastic group to come and have some work to be seen and enjoyed by everyone, and to, as you said, to let it be out in the world. It was truly amazing, and I feel so blessed and so lucky to have such a fantastic debut really with it.
Now, I have to brag on you a little bit because I know people won't brag on themselves, but your play, Three Queens, it ran for, was it 3 weeks or 4?
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks at the Barons Court Theatre in London, and that was last April and May. And in my research and prep for today, I'm noticing you have amazing reviews. You have several nominations here. This production was so well received. So you had 2 designations by critics as Best Show of 2024, and then a second critic who named Three Queens their favorite show for the same year. In the theater world, what do these designations mean? What is the fruit of these designations?
It's a wonderful acknowledgement, and it's just the nominations. There's a 2 West End awards nominations called the Offies. So it's fantastic for the 2 performances. And then we had a lovely nomination for Best Direction from London Pubs Theatres. So they look at the stages. And it's just wonderful for all their hard work and for all the love that they gave to the show. It's amazing, and it's a real acknowledgement for them and for the show. And it also was obviously wonderful for the critics to rate the show and have that as their best show of the year. It was just it topped an amazing year. It was really, really, it meant so much, and it was just like brilliant.
Did the show go anywhere else? Did you have other limited runs in the UK after your premiere?
Unfortunately not, but hopefully we'll be working on that in the future. So because after the show there were a couple of things that were going on in my private life, so it kind of had to take priority. But hopefully I will be able to, or people will want to find out all about it and take it on and show it in maybe in lovely historical homes, or there's lots of history festivals. So yeah, I'm really, really hoping that it can really sort of be open and be there for, especially for the history fans as well.
I think that's a really exciting prospect that you just said, which is sort of mounting the show in maybe historic spaces in which the events of the show may have happened. And a lot of our listeners will know that last year, Hampton Court hosted Six the Musical for a limited run there. So the precedent is set. People are excited for opportunities to really have immersive experiences like that. That's very exciting for me as a theater lover and a history lover combined. Um, does the show, once it premieres, does it continue to evolve and change between runs or iterations, or did the production really hit its sweet spot and now you have like a solidified whole show?
So I guess that's a very difficult one to answer. So I did look, you can look at it again because obviously all productions, will throw up something with the script that you think, oh, maybe I should change there or the other. And also writers, and especially me, I kind of can work on something for a very long time. And sometimes you just have to say it needs to go on. It's really good. It's got really good reviews. It's really solid. So yes, it can always evolve. But for what we have should be the version, or it will be the potentially a new version happens when it goes on for another life.
Fantastic. I love that. I think that that means, the sweet spot is there. As a former performer and now just avid attender of theater, you can really tell when all those pieces have come together just so. And I just love that. Um, Now I have to ask you, because you say, you could work on things for a long time, and you've been very dedicated to this project. I find for myself, if I've been working very hard on something and it sort of comes to the end of my contribution, it takes about 3 days for me to get bored and start dreaming up my next thing. Has that happened to you at all?
I do, yeah. I've got a few projects on the go, and actually, I'm very blessed with getting ideas for things. So even when we were doing Three Queens, there were things coming which are manifesting. So yes, after a while, I get bored, and then new projects happen, and we go on to other things. But I always love going back to the work and seeing it again and refresh, and it brings so much joy to for it to always be there. So I would, yeah, I never get bored of pieces of work, but yes, I have other pieces of work that
Your
I go
brain
on
likes,
to. Yeah.
yeah, you like to go on and daydream in other spaces. I totally get that. Okay, so we're coming to the crux of your very special appearance here today because listeners, Roz let me know that she has actually an announcement to make with the Three Queens. And Roz, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much. So really exciting news that the Gamut Theatre in Harrisburg in Pennsylvania have decided to put on Three Queens for a very strictly limited run. It'll be part of their Stage Door series. And yeah, so it is coming to America. It's having its American premiere from the 19th to the 21st of September.
That is incredible. An American premiere of Three Queens. Like, we've been waiting for this. You have no idea.
I'm so excited, and they're a great team in at the Gamut, and they're just so fantastic. And I
And
can't wait for them to bring it to you.
I think that that area too, that Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, I think they really enjoy hosting historical events and cons and all of these things. So Three Queens has found a really great home.
a really, really great home. And I learned that it was formerly a church, so it has that kind of historical resonance. And because obviously some of the themes are theological, it's just such a lovely place to have its American debut.
Now, in the shift across the pond here, do you keep your original cast? Are there production elements that have to change to accommodate these new spaces?
So there will be a new cast, and the theatre will announce shortly, which is really exciting. I recently attended a read through, and they're all so fantastic. So I'm super excited about when you can all meet them and learn about them. But in terms of staging and the space, it looks like it's a great space. And I guess all plays, when they go to different homes, will find their own vibe for the show, but it should still resonate and still have the tension and the story within it. So yeah, no, I can't wait for it to be there. I'm so excited.
So, for our listeners who are looking for a Tudor night out on the town with theater, where can they be tracking so they can get tickets?
So that's great. So the Gamut have their own website, but I'm posting on my socials and also links to the Gamut Theatre. It will be the 19th to the 21st of September. And their website is gamuttheatre.org. So www.gamuttheatre.org. And yeah, all information is on there. It explains about tickets. And yeah, it's just brilliant. I really hope people go and see it and really enjoy it. And yeah, I can't. I'm so excited to bring this to the theatre, to the Tudor people and everybody who enjoys that era. Yeah, as you said, it's like that resonancy of like when we read the history and get really excited by the characters, and then like we can potentially see them happening in their thoughts and their actions and just kind of get that spark. So yeah, I'm super, super excited for everyone.
And will you be able to actually come here as well and see the fruits of this labor on this side?
I would love to. I'm still in the process of planning that, but if that happens, I will let everybody know. I understand if it's not possible, there will be a way potentially for me to appear. So I may make a virtual appearance if I'm not, but I'm really looking into it, and I really hope to come.
Really, really exciting news. I can't believe you've announced it here. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to learn this news with you and to share it with all our listeners because there's finally an opportunity for us to have a little Tudor fun in the States.
Absolutely. I'm so happy. And I'm so thankful to you guys for letting me come here and allow your listeners to know, and you be the first people to be able to announce it. So I'm just I'm thrilled as well. So thank you so much, everyone.
My goodness. Well, listen, to our listeners who decide to go out to Pennsylvania and see this production, please, please let us know what you love and how your evening went. Post about it. We are so excited when we get these opportunities to share production and art between our areas here. And it doesn't happen nearly as often as we all wish. So this is a very huge opportunity for us here to participate and to support you and to support the cast and the theater. Really great. And I hope that we see some of those kinds of posts and reviews coming in on our side too, and we'll share with you.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. And also, can I just say just a huge thanks to the wonderful Karen Roosh, who is directing the play as well. She's just like super awesome. So I just want to say thank you. And also, she's going to be doing a wonderful job. So she's going to make it brilliant for everybody. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to the team who are putting this all together and making it possible. Well, Roz, I'm so glad you came. Thank you for being here.
And thank you so much for having me. And thank you to all the audience as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon, and maybe we'll see you soon.
Hope so. Thank you so much again.
Thanks for listening to Tudors, Dynasty, and Beyond. If you enjoyed the episode, please take a moment to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening so you never miss a new release. And if you loved it, leave a quick review. It helps more history lovers find the show. Want to support the podcast and get bonus content? Head to patreon.com/tutorsdynasty. You can also find the link in the show notes of this episode. Join the conversation with Rebecca on social media at Tutors Dynasty.